What's up, everyone? Before we get to this one take, I have a quick question for you. Well, a series of questions, actually. Are you a man? Yes. Do you wash your face? Do you brush your teeth? Do you shave your face? Odds are yes, yes, and yes. In that case, you are in luck because today's video is brought to you by Dollar Shave Club. Now, you may think Dollar Shave Club is just razors and blades. That makes sense. It's called Shave Club. But the fact is, they have everything you need to keep yourself smelling fresh, feeling good, and yes, shaved. You know, Dollar Shave Club knows that your face deserves only the best. That's why for $5, you get the ill starter set, the sweet chrome handle, the 4 cartridges, the shave butter, the face wash. It's a good way to try it out. And it's only $5, no risk. Hit the link in the description. I got it for you. I've been using it on my face and head for the last, 3 months. And guess what? Feeling good. I somehow got someone to marry me. Now, enjoy this video. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Angeles Forest. Beautiful day for a drive, and what a car do I have for you. This is the McLaren 600 LT. I already made a video, actually, with the 600 LT Spider. This is the Coupe. I made the video with the Spider on the press launch, and I really only got to drive it on a track with an instructor, whereas here I have time on the road. The road is very different from the track, and also I'm by myself. Real quick, the facts and figures. The 600 LT is the newest, lightest, fastest, raciest version of the sports series cars that are mainly the 570S and 570 GT. It has more power. It has 600 horsepower and 457 pounds of torque. It is lighter weight. You can option this car down without air conditioning or radio to under 3,000 pounds, $2,994, and that's a wet curb weight with a full tank of fuel. So, wow. This one, the one I'm driving, thank the baby Jesus, has both air conditioning and a radio, so it's probably around 3,100. It does 0 to 60 in 2.9, has a 204 mile an hour top speed, and will run the quarter mile in 10.4 seconds, all while getting 23 highway miles per gallon. That's pretty amazing, if you ask me. The base price is $240,000, but this one has things all over it, all kind of things that are really hard to identify, but they're there, and it has $75,000 in options in it. This thing is $310,000, which, wow. All right, let's go for a drive. We've got our chassis in comfort, which is where you want to be in an LT, anywhere but the racetrack. We've got our powertrain in sport. We're going to start there, and off we go. All right, the 600 LT continues McLaren's long-tail tradition, although at this point it is more of a naming convention, an ethos than anything else. It's 74 millimeters longer than the 570S, and that's mainly due to the splitters and the rear valance and such. It's got that big fixed wing. It's got those top mount exhausts, which are very, very cool and very functional. They are not only lighter weight because there's less material there, they dump that exhaust up top right in front of the fixed wing, creating more downforce. It makes its own downforce, people. That wing is carbon fiber, but has a special coating on it right in front, right in the center where that exhaust hits it, so it doesn't get all melty. Most of you know the 720S. This car's bigger brother, the Super Series car, is my favorite supercar on sale. This is like having a very small but very angry dog. That is like having a purebred hunting dog. This thing it's very racy, it's very twitchy. It feels like the engine is bolted directly to the back of my seat. And when I shift, it really kicks me hard. I feel it through my hands and my feet. Widened the track, they've lowered it, they've stiffened it, they've tightened everything. That's what they do with the LT. They make it feel as close as they can to it being the race car, but on the street. So it's kind of vibrating and well, it feels like the race car on the street. McLaren's brakes are really interesting. The 600 LT gets the Senna brakes. The 720S brakes. That's what they do. They recycle parts from the better McLarens down. So with this very lightweight, the 720S brakes have no trouble at all. It also gets very lightweight 10-spoke forged wheels with Trofeo R tires. Somebody named Johnny Lieberman left me with no tread at all. And also, this particular car does feel a little tired in the grand scheme of press cars. Just throwing it out there. Nevertheless, it's a good day in the office. So sport mode kind of amps up the emotion while not giving you every bit of throttle response to the point of headaches, right? So if we turn up the track mode, now the throttle response gets even sharper, shifts get even a little faster, and they don't bother giving you the pop bangs anymore. They use those milliseconds for more important things like performance. Caught a van. So, when we talk about the 600 LT, you have to talk about it in the context of, all sports cars, supercars, cars, in which case, by any standard, it is absolutely extraordinary and one of the best things on the planet, especially at the base price, which is where you get a lot of the value out of the McLarens. Here's the turning radius, and thought I was going to have to raise the nose, which I could do, but I didn't. Should we launch it? Let's just launch it real quick. Launch, track, launch mode unavailable. A, ESC off. Now launch. Now we can launch. Launch mode active. Here we go. Go flat and go. I'll tell you what, for a rear-wheel drive car, man, does that get out of the hole. Oh, but we need to get out of track mode on the suspension because it becomes unbearable. So, comfort mode only on the street, folks. Even then, even in comfort mode, you've still got a razor-sharp supercar that handles, brilliantly. Okay, so, in the grand scheme of things, this car is extraordinary. Crazy fast, 200 mile an hour, 10-second quarter miles, plenty of cooling and brake and tire for track days, plenty of suspension, not unbearable on the road, although it'll beat you up a little bit. Now, we have to zoom in, pinch to zoom on just the McLaren family. Like I said, at the base price, it's a real value. You're getting the hardest edge, best performing version of the Sports Series car, right? In theory. Counterpoint, when you load it up with options, which you can very easily do, you are really close to the 720. And while the 600 LT is great, grand, fantastic even, that's only by the scale of normal cars. When you compare it to the scale of the 720, this car is good, but that car is magic. That car does things that cars are not supposed to do. This car does things that a supercar is supposed to do, that I expect the car to do, the car should do, and it does them really well. That car rides like a cloud and is even faster than this for what ended up being, tester for tester, about 8% price difference. Factor in the potential for used, and the 720 is a hell of a deal. So I think if you pinch to zoom, the 720 is still my car. It does everything this car does, but it has a wider envelope for usability. I got caught in a hailstorm in that car, and it was no big deal. And then I went 180 miles an hour on the track, and it was no big deal. This car with the Trofeo R's and the bucket seats and the very stiff kind of everything, it does the things, it does the performance, but it asks more of you as a driver to do it. It gives you less in return, and you don't have the flexibility that you have with the 720 of really being able to use it as not just, yeah, I can use it every day, but it's an actual joy to use every day because it rides better than most sedans. So I think, hold on, third gear. In some ways, McLaren is its own worst enemy because, yes, the hardcore LT, the purest version, some would say is the best, and many say this is the best. I say that the virtue of McLaren is that it can give you extraordinary levels of performance so that you could easily be the fastest guy at any track day, but also have that usability. I don't need these bucket seats. The regular 720 seats held me great. I don't need to have no carpeting and no sound deadening because the car is so fast anyway. What's the difference? So that to me is, you know, if you want the lightweight raw version, you will not be disappointed by what McLaren is serving you with the 600 LT. On the other hand, when I drive the regular McLarens, the quote regular ones, they are so fast and also so comfortable that I go, well, why do I need more? I don't know. I would get a 720 with an aftermarket exhaust and good night and good luck, sir. But that's just my opinion. By any other scale, all cars, this thing is rad as hell. It's sick. Anybody would jump at the chance to drive something like this. It's sick. I just don't think it's the best thing McLaren makes, and some others do. So, thank you to McLaren for lending me the car for the week. Thank you to you for watching. Thank you to my wife for saying I do forever. I got married last weekend. I'm kind of stoked on it. And that's all. That's the game. Goodbye.